Brought to you by Express Care Health and Skin Center. Get in, get out, get better.
Half a day and welcome back. If you are just joining us, we are talking about nail health. And here to answer some of our viewers' questions is Express Care's Dr. Jitka Lom. All right, now our first viewer is asking, what diseases affect nails?
Okay, well, we mentioned a couple: psoriasis, thyroid disease, anemia will affect it. Of course, if you've had any trauma to the fingers or toes, it can affect your nail growth. Cancer can affect your nails. You can get melanoma right in the nail. That's very unusual, skin cancer. Those are the ones I can think of off the top of my head. Eczema can, of course, affect your nails too because of the constant scratching. And just that trauma to the nail all the time. They'll get ridging and changes in their nail, I mean.
Okay, now you mentioned ridging. And that relates to our next viewer's question, who is asking, can you tell us about rigid nails and pitted nails?
Pitted nails, yeah. So the surface of the nail is supposed to be very smooth. Pitting occurs when there are little tiny dots, pits that are like little bumps into the surface of the nail. And pitting goes along with a number of different health conditions. Again, psoriasis is one of them. Sometimes in eczema, we look for that as a sign, as something that would tell us about the general health of the nail. It means that the nail has not been formed in a consistent fashion from the nail bed under the cuticle. So you want a very smooth nail as a sign that that is all functioning really well. Ridging can occur, like we were talking about, if you've had a very high fever, and then several months later it'll come out ridged, or a fungal infection. Bacterial infection can cause that. It depends on also the direction of the ridging. Some people genetically will have a ridging that goes up and down the nail. The side to side is always a pathology, meaning there's something wrong with the nail.
Oh, okay. Now our next viewer is asking, what is clubbing? And I don't think he's talking about going out and partying.
No. Clubbing is a deformity of the fingertip. Mostly what we have is we have a straight finger, then we have a straight fingernail, and this thing down here is also quite straight. In people with clubbing, it's almost as if they have a little bulb or a little balloon on the tip of their finger. They'll have a little bulge here, and the nail will be a little bit rounded as well. And when you press on the top of their fingernail here, it'll be spongy, because basically there's inflammation of that whole tip of the finger. And this occurs in people that have chronic bronchitis, people who are smokers and have severe lung disease, and people that have certain other health conditions such as lymphoma and other kind of cancers. So it's something that we look for and go, wow, you have clubbing. Do you have a lung disease? Do you smoke a lot? Have you had cancer? Do you have some other health problems? So that's, it's not dangerous. Some people have genetic clubbing, they're just born that way. But if we see that someone's fingertip is bulbous like that, it alerts us to look for other diseases.
Wow, all right. Now, we spoke about funguses earlier, and our next viewer is asking, are there any home remedies for nail fungus, and what is the best treatment?
Yes. So, you know, nail fungus can be really stubborn and difficult, and there are a lot of products on the market. That tells you that nothing works that really well, you know. But a home remedy that you can do is, first of all, keep your shoes very airy and open. Something like a crock would work really well. Make sure you clean your shoes, because the fungus is in your shoes. You keep putting your foot back in there, you keep putting the fungus back on. Try to wear open shoes, okay? And you can put baking soda in your shoe as well at nighttime, and that'll keep the fungus from wanting to grow. Then what you can do is you can soak your toes in some Listerine. It sounds crazy, but it does help a little bit, for about 10 minutes every night. That's about it. Because the problem with nail fungus is that it's not where you see it. You'll see the effects of it on the tip of the nail and on the end, but the problem is that the nail fungus is inside. It's underneath the cuticle. So in order to properly treat nail fungus, we have to go from the inside. So we take pills and we take medication, usually for about at least 6, if not 9 months. It's a long time to take pills in order to clean it from the inside. So that's about that.
Wow,
Yeah.
All right. Now, our next viewer is asking more about nail fungus, and this person is asking, does laser work for nail fungus?
It does actually work, because we can use laser to deep heat inside within the body. So we can treat without burning the surface, heat up the inside of the body underneath the cuticle, and that way kill off the fungus, because the fungus can only live in a certain temperature range, and once you heat it up, it dies. So we do have that at my clinic as well, and we treat people. We treat all of their 10 fingers or 10 toes, depending on where the infection is, because it can spread from one to the other. It takes about 10 minutes. You just feel a little bit of heat. It's not terribly painful. And you come in about every month to 6 weeks until the infection's gone.
All right. Now, would that be something that you do in conjunction with medication?
You can, but typically we do one or the other, because then how do you know which one's working?
Yeah. All right. Now, our next viewer is asking, when you drop something on your foot, why does your toenail come off?
Oh, good one. Yeah. Well, a couple of reasons. When you drop that heavy turkey on your foot or brick, you know, you get bleeding. That's where that throbbing pain comes from, because your toe cannot actually stretch. The nail is kind of stuck on. There's all this pressure. And the pressure destroys the nail, cuts off the circulation to the base of the nail, and that nail will actually die. And then what will happen is it'll lift off, you'll lose that nail, and then the pressure's gone, the nail bed recovers, and you'll get a fresh new nail. And that whole process takes almost a year sometimes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
okay.
if you drop something on your toe and you see that blue discoloration and your toe is throbbing and you know that there's blood underneath, you can come into the clinic, we'll clean it, and we'll put a little tiny hole in the nail itself, release the pressure, let that blood come out, and then you won't hopefully lose your nail.
Yeah, and I know from experience that smashing your finger can be very painful,
Yes.
but that's all the time we got, so thank you so much. And again, if you have any ideas for topics that you would like